I'm here with Honor Roberts, who's the campaign director for 40 Days for Life in Oxford, and prays and stands outside abortion centres in Oxford. Could you just tell me a little bit about your work there and why you started up the campaign?
Yeah, well, I heard about 40 Days for Life and what it was, and I was just kind of convicted. I think the moment I found out about what the work consists of and the results that 40 Days for Life has, and I just thought, being in Oxford, it's such an important place, I think, for lots of reasons. The amount of young people that are there that are most likely to be having abortions. It's also a prominent place, a lot of, I think, cultural kind of attitudes are being formed there. So yeah, I just thought this is the place, and prayer works, and 40 Days for Life, the amount of abortion centres that are closed and the amount of abortion workers that are quit and babies saved. So I just thought, let's do it.
Fabulous, and thank you so much for doing that. And could you tell us a little bit more about that? So you said abortion centres have been closed. Have there been any fruits in particular that you've seen from the campaign in Oxford?
Yeah, I think the most obvious fruit that I've seen is that our local centre has closed, so thanks be to God. BPAS lost the funding from the NHS when we found that out a bit later on through our campaign. But yeah, other than that, I've seen loads of fruits. I've seen just changes of heart, and I've seen faith just increased. I've seen just being the pro-life community being built up, and lots of other things, just relationships forming, and there's so many fruits. It's been great.
Fantastic, thank you. And finally, could you talk to me a little bit more about young people getting involved in the movement? Have you seen much of an increase in this, and what would you say to young people to encourage them to get involved?
Yeah, I think the reason I think young people are wanting to be more involved is they're kind of waking up, because I think our culture talks so much about equality and consent and protection from violence and compassion and all these kinds of things. And I think it's becoming more and more obvious that the very people who need to be protected, the most vulnerable people, don't have that basic fundamental right to life. And I think young people are waking up to that, and I think as times are becoming more extreme, I think the truth is becoming more clear. So whatever role that they can find for themselves in the pro-life movement, whether it is praying outside an abortion centre, I think young people are able to see that this work is so vital, and they can find their place, because there is something for them. It doesn't matter where it is, but that it just has to be something. You have to get involved as a young person if you want a fair society. If you really believe in equality, then you just have to. So whether it's lobbying Parliament, it's kind of finding your skills and seeing where you can put them to serve the pro-life cause, I think. So yeah, I think the young people are just I think they're edified by it, because it's just so worth it.
Thank you. I completely agree, and I think when you look at the statistics as well, and we're seeing that it's 10 million lives since the Abortion Act that have been lost to abortion, it's not something that we can just stand by and do nothing about. And I was interested in what you were saying earlier about the number of young people you see or used to see going into the abortion centre. I think there's something very powerful about young people ministering to young people, and we know that I think it's 20 to 24-year-olds are the most likely to have an abortion. So thank you for all the work that you do in Oxford. That was Honor Roberts, who's the campaign director of the 40 Days for Life campaign in Oxford.